Welcome to Last Generation Audio Magazine, your source for Bible-centered truth in a turbulent world. Here we share compelling articles that reveal God's love, expose deception, and prepare people for the soon return of Jesus. You are listening to Volume 35, Issue 6.
If You Want to Lose Weight, Sleep, by Nana Kwarteng and Elizabeth Jane Hall. If 1/3 of your assets lie in the prosperity of a certain company, you would probably monitor the progress of that company often. Time is a commodity too. We spend 1/3 of our lives sleeping. How does sleep of short duration contribute to the epidemic of obesity, prediabetes, and type 2 diabetes? Has it contributed to your weight gain? Does good sleep help with weight loss if one is obese? Fredrick's story. Fredrick had always taken pride in his good looks, intelligence, and health. An avid exerciser and former health coach, he was kind and likable, often traveling the world. However, during the COVID-19 pandemic, he became isolated while working from home. He stayed up late chatting with friends. Over the next 2 years, he gained noticeable abdominal fat, often referred to as a potbelly. His sleep deteriorated. 5 years later, as Fredrick experienced chest pain and saw his doctor, he was surprised to learn that his left main artery had a 90% blockage. He was only 43. He had prediabetes, even though he was active, had a nearly normal weight, and ate not always the optimal, but a strictly vegetarian diet. A shortchanged society. 1/3 of Americans do not get adequate sleep. If you want to lose weight, you need to get 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep. 2 meta-analyses found that inadequate amounts of sleep, interrupted sleep, and irregular sleep can make us more vulnerable to obesity, prediabetes, and type 2 diabetes. The shorter the duration of sleep, the higher the risk of developing obesity or type 2 diabetes. Why? Sleep deprivation sabotages appetite control. Even in a healthy young man, sleep restriction leads to increased activation of brain regions sensitive to food stimuli. In other words, reduced sleep may lead to a greater propensity to overeat. In normal weight individuals, partial sleep deprivation increases the brain's response to unhealthy food. MRI studies demonstrate that sleep deficiency significantly decreases activity in the areas of the frontal cortex and the insular cortex that help us control appetite. Sleep deficiency also increases activity in other parts of the brain and makes us crave junk food and high-calorie foods. Additionally, inadequate sleep enhances activity of dopamine receptors linked to hyperpalatable food consumption. Another study found that obese women had lower sleep efficiency, ate more quickly, and spent more time eating and sleeping during the daytime hours than normal weight women. Circadian misalignment affects sleep architecture and may reduce total sleep time. Misaligned circadian rhythms contribute to obesity, diabetes, and comorbidities of cancer and cardiovascular diseases. Strategies for good sleep. Get at least 30 minutes of physical exercise per day, even if it is in several smaller segments of time. Studies show that daily aerobic exercise helps to reduce stress, anxiety, and depression. Get sunlight exposure during the early part of the day, or use a broad-spectrum happy light if it is overcast or dark. Use blackout curtains for complete darkness at night. No blue light exposure 2 hours before retiring. Gradually reduce caffeine consumption to the point of eliminating it. Caffeine reduces the quality of slow-wave sleep, the most restorative sleep, increases the time it takes to get to sleep, enhances the impact of stressors, and magnifies the effects of stress hormones. A morning dose can interfere with nighttime sleep. It also magnifies the effects of the sympathetic nervous system, making it more difficult to relax. Cultivate regularity in rising and retiring. Studies show that fatigue occurs 4 hours sooner on an irregular schedule than on a regular schedule. According to Dr. James Moss, research shows that if you take 2 groups of students and have them both get an equal number of hours of sleep, but group 1 goes to bed on what we call a yo-yo schedule, they can go to bed at 11 p.m. one night and 3 a.m. the next, and group 2 goes to sleep at the same time every night, Group 2 will be significantly more alert than Group 1. Keep the room at a comfortable temperature and well ventilated with fresh air. The room should be totally dark for optimal production of melatonin, a sleep-promoting, antioxidant, immune-bolstering, and cardiovascular protecting hormone. Eat a light third meal consisting mainly of fruit, or better yet, skip supper if you are overweight or sedentary. Skipping supper increases the production of growth hormone during deep sleep. This valuable hormone assists in tissue repair, improves the efficiency of the immune system, and increases the body's ability to burn fat. Sugar and refined carbs compromise sleep. Before retiring, soak in a lukewarm tub of water, then go to bed immediately. Keeping your feet warm at night improves sleep. Both the herbs hops and passion flower, in the form of tea, induce sleep. If you are taking medications, check with your pharmacist before taking any herbs in medicinal amounts to avoid a possible drug-herb interaction. Avoid melatonin supplements for a prolonged time, as they can interfere with the natural production of melatonin. See your physician if these simple remedies do not help you have restorative sleep. A test for obstructive sleep apnea, OSA, may be needed. 7 in 10 people with type 2 diabetes also have obstructive sleep apnea. Significant sleep apnea is present in approximately 40% of obese individuals. Approximately 70% of individuals with OSA are obese. Moderate and severe sleep apnea reduces the body's ability to regulate blood glucose levels efficiently. There are effective treatments for sleep apnea. Adapted with permission from Wildwood Lifestyle Center in Georgia. For the full article, see wildwoodhealth.com.
Thank you for listening to Last Generation Audio Magazine. For more of our timely and biblical resources, including our print and digital editions, visit our website at lastgen.net and follow us on Facebook and Instagram.